Hello, in this video we're going to go over the writing and language portion of the SAT. And what's great about this stretch of questions, 26 through 28 on exam 1, is that it pretty much encapsulates all the different types of questions that you can see on this portion of the exam. You don't have to read the whole passage to understand these questions because they're mostly grammar. You can jump right to where they're asking you to go, at most reading the question that it's attached to, or reading the sentence it is attached to. 26. The spaces are usually stocked with standard office equipment such as photocopiers, printers, and fax machines. So what I recognize here looking at 26 is I can already tell that this is like a punctuation question, right? Because all the words are the same. The only thing they're really changing are like colons or commas or lack of. And so I look at 26. The spaces are usually stocked with standard office equipment such as, and such as is a sentence that kind of the SAT uses as a comma pretty much. So anything, a comma after that would eliminate it. So we can go ahead and eliminate D. You really want to start looking at it in this way. Don't ask yourself what sounds good out loud, because really what sounds good in your head is not necessarily what the SAT is looking for. They're looking for a very succinct set of rules for you to follow. Okay, and then what we see is that B and C are putting colons at the end. So let's see if we were to have colons at the end. What's left are photocopiers, printers, and fax machines. Now, that is a list of things, which makes it tempting as a correct answer, but this is a list of things that has no context after that. You want to think about a colon as like a period, in the sense that it's starting a new idea after that. So photocopiers, printers, and fax machines isn't a good sentence to have after that on its own, because it's not a complete sentence. You would maybe want something like photocopiers, printers, and fax machines are all machines that you would find inside of a workspace, something that completes it. So because we don't see that, B and C are eliminated, leaving us with A. Moving on, 27. In these locations, however, the spaces often include small meeting areas and blah, blah, blah. So what I can see is that 27 is asking us to be a proofreader. They're asking us to create the most precise way of saying the sentence without changing its intention. In these locations, however, so as is, I see however is in a comma sandwich. It's between two commas, which means in theory we should be able to delete that word and the rest of the sentence still makes sense without a changed meaning. And that doesn't happen here. However is indicating that this is different from what you're expecting it to be. So getting rid of that totally eliminates that if you read it without it. In these locations, the spaces often include blah, blah, blah. So A doesn't make sense. B, in addition to equipment, the spaces often include. So that's pretty good, because what that does is we see that it's coming back to this original idea of equipment. It's even quoting it. So B is super tempting. So we'll keep that on track. C, for these reasons, the spaces often include. Well, there's no real reasons put before. It's just giving you a list of office equipment. So that doesn't really make sense. Likewise, the spaces often include meeting areas. Now that's a nice precise way to put this sentence, which makes it tempting, but it's not really connecting it to other parts of the paragraph. So B is a much better option to go with. And 28 is more of a reading comprehension question. It's asking us whether or not we should delete 28 or keep it based on how it fits into this paragraph. The writers consider deleting the underlined sentence. Should it be kept or deleted? A, kept because it provides a detail that supports the main topic of the paragraph. So let's read this thing. The cost of launching a new co-working business in the U.S. is estimated to be approximately $58,000. Now, these are a lot of things, and it's easy to assume, well, maybe they're talking, this must be expensive, but they're not specifically quoting prices or anything like that. So A is not going to be a good option for us. Kept because it sets up the main topic of the paragraph that follows. If you were to have the entire exam 1 in front of you, the writing and language portion, you would see that this doesn't make sense. That's not a true statement to have there. C, deleted because it blurs the paragraph's main focus with a loosely related detail. That sounds like it's pretty accurate. Like we saw earlier, it's kind of connected, but not really. Deleted because it repeats information that has been provided in an earlier paragraph. If you saw the entire paragraph, or I'm sorry, the entire story or passage in this test 1, you would see that that's just not the case. And we're now left with C. So just be sure to go about this in a very succinct way with a set of rules that you understand from the SAT, and Once you understand that, this becomes a lot easier and you become a lot more accurate. The last thing you want to do is try and see what sounds good in your head or even saying out loud, because they have a lot of traps set up for you to fall into if you do it that way. Best of luck. Let me know any questions. You can do it.